Yeah. Well, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Ma. Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Madam. How are you, Ma? Happy New Year.
I'm fine, thank you.
It's an opportunity to say Happy
Fine.
New Year to Edo State.
Happy New Year to you too.
Thank you so very much. I'm happy we are
Thank
here
you.
at this, just at the nick of time. Very good. Very, very good. But it was just last night I got
because I have other meeting by 11, so I'll just have about 30 minutes for this.
Very well.
So
Very
that
well. I'll be very brief too, because I also have an urgent meeting organized by the World Summit for all national experts. That will be, they said 11 o'clock, but I'm probably thinking to be maybe GMT +1. But at any rate, we'll be good. I'll try and pull this together within the short time.
Okay.
So I hope. Okay. How many more people are joining us? Okay, great. I have one more person coming in. That's right.
Okay.
So thank you very much all. I'll just say, seize the opportunity to just share with us very briefly how we can knock this out in 35 minutes. So good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, madam.
Good morning.
Good morning, MD.
Good morning. So thank you so very much. My name is Amos Emmanuel. I run programmer software here, but then more on this project is about my foundation called the Programmers Foundation. And I happen to be the UN national expert for Nigeria. And it was actually my anniversary last year, having made like 10 years on the project. And we feel we needed to reach out to every state so that we can share more on what we are doing across all the 36 states. So you'll just permit me to go into a presentation that will summarize all of this. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Nigeria now is 32 steps to launch a revised version of the statement by languages of the capital market.
Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. So first, this was like the piece that we put together when we shared this with the OCAM, which is the Observatory of the United Nations on Digital Communication. So what this actually meant to do is that we have just engaged the new decade. We have just engaged the new decade after the last 10 years of research work that we have done over innovation. All and the summary of what we do is that people have gone to school. They are literate in no matter what discipline, what course of study you may have been as a graduate or as an undergraduate. So the whole essence of what we do here at the World Summit Awards Nigeria under the project we call the Innovationbed is to see how we can pick all these youths around us who may have had one literacy in one professionalism and all of that, and try to see how they can actually imbibe innovative contents, how they can develop things that they already have, innovative ways, and bring about more productivity in whatever region that they are, so that they can actually be much relevant to their immediate society. So today, I'm particularly very happy to speak with Edo State. And this project, like I'm going to put it, is going to be that we partnering with our main network, which is the UN World Summit Awards. There are just two major initiatives anchored by the United Nations World Summit Awards, for which I'm the national expert for Nigeria. And like I've mentioned, it's been my 10th year anniversary last year. And this new decade is a brand new thing that instead of just speaking words, English and all of that, we are going down to implement the research that we have already done by harvesting the products of the stars that we have built in the last 10 years and bringing them back to see how we can jointly put together and regenerate or impact our new younger generations that can actually affect this economy of ours. I mean, with all of us doing all the things that we are doing in every part of the economy. So that is on the United States, on the World Summit Awards. Then the next is the project under the ICT for Seeds, manned by the United Nations UN GATE, which is the United Nations Global Alliance on Information Technology Developments. So these principal people here, particularly in the middle, we have Dr. Stevens of the University of Oklahoma, and to my right wards here, to part my left wards over there and all that, is Professor Amjad Umar. He's actually the lead and program director at the Harrisburg University of Science and Tech in the US. So we've actually been in a working group that has been putting together some of these projects and putting them together to see how we can scale this project across developing states. So over the years, Nigeria has been, in fact, at the forefront of this project development for the rest of the world, because not only a project for Nigeria. I'm not only a project implementing for Nigeria, I'm just a national expert for Nigeria. There are well over 180 national experts across the world for all the over 180 countries that are involved with the World Summit Awards and the SDGs development around the world. So, but particularly for Nigeria, this immediate 10 years is to see that this year we are taking each government to look back at this project to see how they can nominate 2,500 young people, whether they are in school, whether they are graduated. Graduated could be that they are graduated and they don't have jobs. Graduated could be that they are graduated, they are on jobs. And then if they are on jobs, are they on self-employment or are they in a workforce? And if in workforce, is it workforce of government or workforce of private organizations? So what we do is that this research actually caters for all and everyone, and particularly at the base, the undergraduates that are currently in school. Sometimes our undergraduates feel that they are on the wrong course. But when you say innovation, there is actually no course of study that is wrong, that is not relevant in a national economy. But because you are trained or you are taking the course in a manner that you're only looking at the exams ahead of you, you are focusing on the exams, and by the time you are done with the course, yourself, you are in one part, your exams also leaves you. But then we are trying to make them realize that if I'm a student taking on a particular course, I need to take that course much more seriously, sometimes much beyond the examination. Because if I have listened to a teacher, photocopied and written notes, and did all manner of things, I wake up everybody and get to a class because of this lecture for 4 years, for 5 years, and I still do not believe in what I'm doing, something must just be wrong. So between the time I'm doing this and within my course of study, by the time I'm stepping out, you're already having some productive capabilities within you, and it's very easy that you can actually initiate something on your own than saying you want to seek for a job. And I think this is the kind of mindset that the Innovationbed Incubation 2030 is trying to build. And we've done this in several, we have tests of people that we have done this with, which I'm going to just show you very soon. Now, in the course of that project, we have to enhance and evolve all this because we're also looking at what the Europeans are also doing. And it's actually very important today that some of the content that we are building and things that immediately will impact your economy right now, has to be broken down into these three categories of incubation for people that you want to train. But we are not a school. I'm not just to train. But you don't just train people for sake of just training. You have to train for what is relevant and for what can make him more prosperous immediately based on the content he has. At that time, you're actually not wasting their time and we're also not wasting some resources. In this project, we keep it as inexpensive as possible. And that is why we don't want to make it a political program. It's very easy for a young man like Endurance there to connect me with the government than keep middlemen who want to just create layers and values and things like that. And this project will not have gone. And that is why we are not in a race that within these 10 years, we have to cover 36 states. No, it depends on who. Like the very first 2 states that we have a test case identified with our project last year, they were involved, and the governor even gets involved to even stop certain information across all tertiary institutions in his state in Zamfara. He got involved, and you could see the outcome of what that project did to the students in the state at that time, not minding that this is the state that is really right now under real major insecurity challenge. But what we need to make them know that's insecurity or no insecurity, technology is supposed to be a correction and not something that they should bar because they want to make a point. And I think some of these actions they take sometimes may backfire, and I think they are beginning to reason on some of this, like you could see some of the videos that we have prepared along this project. So we have the Democracy and Governance Innovation Hub. We have the culture, because democracy and governance, people are already in workforce of government. So why are things not working? Now we have the creative and we have the culture and creative industry. You see, our Nollywood is not second to anything. We are first and ever first. But guess what? We are getting extinct because certain things is killing this industry that nobody is caring for. So it's a big deal that that segment has to have a major incubation. The next is actually the social, economic, and of course, the social and the economic transformation, which is where every other person keeps the layer of development, of economic development at. And that is the whole trend. So I will not want to waste so much time, but then I want to mention that this project is fulcrumed on 5 key pillars. We have the pillar for Fix the Gap research. We make sure we identify the gap. We look for whether there's a solution. We look for whether the solution has been adopted. And if there is no solution, we have to ensure that there is a local option for that, a local solution option that is for that thing. Because if a government has a good will and there are solutions for certain problems plaguing the society, if they have not adopted, incubation is enough to escalate such will of such governance system across, because if it is not adopted, means there's even no interest to solving the problems. So, and I don't think this should be the way to go for any leader. And to be frank with you, many leaders today would like to know and want to do the right thing if guided appropriately. And that's the whole essence of what the project of the UNICT for CIS is all about. What it tells us is that as a developing country, if you need a digital society, we are not going to purchase it. It won't be by money. It won't be by our national budgets, but it will be by how much we as a people can collectively innovate to put what we need in the society to put it together. And that is why the Fix the Gap research is the starting point and is most of the very, very critical aspects of the pillar of this Innovationbed project. The next is upskilling. You upskill where you find a gap and need to put the training for that person that have that potential and all the necessary things. And that is exactly what we do. Like in the states that we have right now, with the nominations we have gotten from all the local governments, we have to work with each and every one of them. We have to know your capability. We have to know where you're coming from. We have to know, in fact, just don't take it that the government is paying certain small things for you. And because of that, you just want to write because the government is involved. You have to show us your target because you have a project to deliver for your community as you go. And the good thing we have is that our faculty, we get this faculty is because of what I have done. We are not actually charging, if nothing at all, almost near zero for faculty, tuition, and all of that. Our concern will be more of platform, and it's 100%, 99% virtual. And we're going to keep all these things done, and people will marvel that as it is, people will be able to even begin to build virtual smart cities around their places so that we don't just keep, when we say smart city, we don't keep it as a theory any longer. So the upskilling is the right education for the right people at the right time, and specifically to keep them productive, for them to be producers rather than job seeking. And of course, the two networks that we mentioned the last time is the World Summit Awards platform, where we get all local products from Nigeria and we showcase it to the world. And you're going to see that Nigeria has not been doing badly in Africa. We've had the best result. We've been doing very well. And we are trying to even see how the rest of our African countries and peers can also improve the participation from Africa, because the overall of Africa contribution to the global diameter for innovation is very poor, very, very poor, when Europe is doing far better, and you're going to see some of this result. Subsequently, you have the ICT for Seeds, which is strictly about strategic planning. Why want to waste the Nigerian kobo when you don't even know what you want to do yet, even as a leader, a governor, a councillor, a what have you? And there are principles that these young guys can be taught, and they can teach their leaders around them on how to lead aright. So we'll now move faster, because now this is the problem to solve. A typical Nigerian environment is like this. Don't forget, don't mind, sometimes we're in a story building, it's painted. So many of the main key cities where many people, some of us have come from, may not be different from this. They are not painted. They're actually not painted. They may not even have tap water and so many things. But then we sometimes reason that we have to do something about those places. For it to be a digital society, your society has to be fairer, has to be inclusive, and it's got to be more sustainable and all of that. So we have to train these guys on all the emerging techs that they need to make sure that they improve their environments, and that is the essence of this content. All these things will be available for you anyway, and I'll just move into saying that how do we go about this? Each of the states will, from each of the local governments, in fact, we try to see how we balance gender. And I'm very happy that in this session, I have a female. In most states, it would have been male, and we're particularly not happy. Look at the session I had the last time with 2 states, because once we have your students here, we are already camping them like the big brother. It's a virtual reality program, madam. You see, we right now have 2 states already camped, and we have a technical team of youth nominated by their senior special assistant to their governors, by their commissioners for youth, and whoever is involved in there, and they actually have nominated all these guys, and we are incubating them. We just started last week, and the meetings for incubation get started, but the project in itself will start from middle of next month. So we're just waiting for any other states that are ready, and we'll go at our pace until the other states get to know, because it's not something we are making so much noise about, but at least we are happy that we have a beneficiary of our 2020 project, which is from Edo State, because the last time we got scholarship for 10 youths, and we trained 10 youths across 10 states. So we are gradually speaking to states on the project. So we will just need nomination from all the local governments, and I think in Edo State we have 18 local governments. So male, female, their criteria all there, so that we know who is capable of doing what background and all of that. We'll see all that out, and we match them where they belong. Give them a year, give them 2 years to come. These guys are producing things in that state, and there is nothing looking outwards from the state, because you already have those people. In my record, you get to see that Nigerians are already innovators, and we've been putting this and winning across in terms of innovation. But it's just that we've not been bothering. In other states, we have to comb the local governments for the nomination for it to be fair. And this is just a flash of a government that I know they were very sensitive. They got involved. They called in, because we don't even know how to talk to government people, quite frankly. And like I said, it shouldn't be a political program. It could influence your political program, but then let us do it aright, because this project is being watched by the global community. It's a mandate that we just got by an open OCAM 21st Info Poverty World Conference, for which we got the Honorable Minister, Professor Issa Pantami, to join us, and we're happy. He actually honored our invitation, and he was able to join the event at the UN. Now, the strategies here is to say that if these youths know how they can engage their leaders, they can't wait. A leader, once he gets an appointment as a councillor, as chairman, even as president, sometimes they say, how do I understand the basic issues? They've just won an election. They may not even understand what the assignments or the responsibilities are, but then technology can actually help. Now, how do I develop a customized plan? Technologies are there to let this man know that for him to think of doing a road, there are certain things he can do to assist him. And this is the kind of education. These guys are already offering e-consultancy, brand new jobs that we today say there are no jobs. They are brand new jobs, you know? And how do I successfully execute them? Then how do I monitor and evaluate what I've done? The next is, how do I do everything without reinventing the wheel? As a counselor, why do I have to reinvent the wheel if my previous person was doing the right thing? And of course, the next they want to look at, oh, okay, since I'm old, I'm a dinosaur, not as sharp as these young guys. Are there youths around us who know about these things? And this is a brand new job for a new generation of Nigerians as we speak. And we're happy, of course, when the president of the world, the ADB, actually mentioned that one should not risk, that Africa must not risk capital. It shouldn't be because of capital that you don't actually give the youths the chance for them to lead and lead their rights and all that. So we offer this platform. That is the chairman of the UN World Summit Award, Professor Brock, and every year Nigerians have been I've been taking innovation as national expert. That's my job, taking the innovations from people. And I've been sitting down in Lagos here, and I don't want it to remain that because I'm in Lagos, we've been getting innovation from people from Lagos. We want to be sure that we have youths represented from each state. The World Summit Award is a Nigerian project. We want the government of Edo State to endorse. There are three things. To endorse one, the local hub for the UN World Summit Award, as well as the local hub for the ICT for Seeds, for you to interplay and use the processes for the benefit of the state. And by that, you are actually benefiting on a large scale than somebody just speaking English to share with you. And this is just records of what we've achieved. This is a Nigerian with his award being celebrated in Abu Dhabi by the chairman. We've had a sitting governor there when he was governor, the current Minister of Interior, who has been in Sri Lanka to pick his award. And several awards like that. And all these people here are national experts. And here I am for Nigeria. We have this for India and several. That's the Egypt expert and so on. That is the expert for Chile and so on and so on. These guys are just volunteers, and I run a software company. My foundation is what I use to volunteer to do this, and I've done this for 10 years. And the research out of that is what we are using to set up a national incubation to make sure that we get more youths from almost every part of the corner of the country, and we can actually participate much more qualitatively and increase the tempo and frequency for Nigeria so that we can sustain it. Because after COVID, so many things have happened right now that can actually lead to frustrating our young people that we may not be able to attain this record that we have made. This is a 10-year plan and record. In 2011, this are Nigeria won. 2012, Nigeria won. iPolice, in fact, your budget, if you know of budget, that application that helps your government in what they are spending and all of that. But it was a discovery of this platform in 2012. 2013, we had Transparent Nigeria, Opoimo, and Opinion Nigeria. Opinion Nigeria is a young Nigerian. Transparent Nigeria is also, that's the son of the Dr. Okonjo-Iweala, WTO. He was still in school. He crossed in 2013 to come and pick his award in Sri Lanka with Opoimo, the governor of Osun State at the time. So in 2014, Omomi and so on. Then 2016, 2017, U-Truck It was celebrated hugely in Vienna. 2018, we had Carrot and Max Okada. Max Okada and Carrot was celebrated hugely too in Portugal, and so on and so forth. 2019, we had Check It Up, and prior to the pandemic here, we had 2 wins in 2020 last year within the pandemic, and so on and so forth. As we speak, 2021 results is not out, but in the shortlisted projects, Nigeria has 2 senior category projects already in the shortlist. And of course, we have 3 projects in the junior category in the shortlist. These are signs that we may win in the end because of all the almost 500 innovations that are taken from over 180 countries. The whole world needs just 40 best solutions. And if Nigeria has been leading here, is to tell you that there's so much we have here, but we're just toying with the capability that this country has. And I'm happy to say we have built a constellation of so many innovators from around the world. And we are increasing this. And if you look at this, if you look at this, whether we are doing so well in Nigeria really does not show that Africa is doing well. Nigeria has just 6% of the measure of innovation contribution to the world. Latin America and the Caribbean, 12%. Arab and Arab countries and Middle East, 11%. And the larger one is the larger one is, let me just see if I can minimize this, is Europe. Europe is enjoying 45%. So we can imagine it's not easy at all. It's not easy. Now, and the main essence of this project is that rather than just a conference, a meeting, a session, what we are able to do by virtue of our research is that if you point to one Nigerian problem, I can give you human beings who are solution providers and they are world rated. Look at, is it open government and citizens engagement? Is it under education problems? Is it health and lifestyle sector? Is it so many? Is it tourism? Is it green energy, smart settlement? This is not even updated yet. And in fact, sometimes we hear some of them being celebrated on Forbes. But you see, Nigerian leadership hasn't been paying attention at all. The Nigerian leadership has not been paying attention to this at all. And this is the main essence. And of course, why we started with all of this is that the academy of guys that we have trained in the last with scholarship within the pandemic last year involved nominations from Akwa Ibom, from Gombe State, from Katsina, from the Ministry of Science and Tech, Benue nominated, and of course, Kano nominated, the Office of Governor nominated. We had nomination from Gombe, Ogun State, and of course, from Edo State. Okay, we have Akwa Ibom, we have Bauchi State, we had Katsina, we have, that is where endurance now comes in. And all these guys were not just trained to go and sleep. We're training them to look at what their country and their immediate environment need for them to help. They are not to just go back and sit. And this is actually just to tell you that these are, at least there will be change makers if they can pay attention to them, and so on, and so forth. Sorry, we're also building women from different angles for different purposes. And this is actually a typical program that we have, women in partnership with the Women Who Code of India. They are training our women, and these people are going to recruit others. In one of them here, I have this, my daughter here, this is also my daughter here. She is doing her PhD at the University of Johannesburg right now. And they are to retrain women and put all these programs behind them and recreate a generation as they desire. I need just to do my thing. And of course, in our early program, we have graduates whom we have subjected as a software programmer. And I have clientele. In fact, the executive governor of Edo State is a stockbroker, and is familiar with my software because all the stockbrokers all over the world may have used my software at one point or the other. So we have created all these young people from diverse professions, and we supplied them. This was in 2007. We over 200 were graduated at that time. We supplied them to the Nigerian capital markets sector, which was my main niche. And nobody came back to me, even though there was no employment vacancy posted on their doors. You know, so in a nutshell, we try to see how we make sure this project sits in every state, and we want to measure every government by how many innovators that the government of each state has been able to produce. How many governors, how many innovators has a governor produced? Because we need to see products coming out and winning at the national level, state by state, and that is the whole essence of this presentation. And the incubation would lead to people there taking care of your agricultural needs, the transportation needs of the state, and so on and so on, even further beyond what you never expect. You know, so it was actually not going to be a long drawn talk, but this is actually the base of our presentation, madam, so that we can actually understand better that if you can actually use this and go by this incubation that we're talking about, in the next 10 years, a state can do the 2,000 this year, do this volume this year, but it will be a continuous thing for any state who want to just take it serious. But one thing we are so sure is that we have the records of the producer, we have what they are doing. And guess what? We don't promise them money, we don't have money. If I don't have money, it's a different thing. But guess what? We have taken them all to the point when they are now getting their monies. Check it out there. One or just got about $500,000 $500,000 last year in seed funds. Yeah, so you can imagine what each and every one of them will be sitting on in terms of, but we've taken it to the point when your product will give you the money for eternal prosperity. But sometimes the kind of monies they get sometimes when they are not properly tutored and not properly incubated is just one strange combination of partnership that gives you just here, you get $2 million, you are now a this, you are now at this, or that. In the end, 90% of them will fail because they never started well. Even the ones that need the funds are not getting the funds. So this is a general take of the project, madam. Sir.
Thank you very much. It was a real all-round presentation. In a few minutes, we were able to go around all that had been done. It is a laudable project, and we, as a state, we want to know exactly what the Innovation Bed Africa has for us, which you have been here. Then how are we going to partner, and what are the things that is required of the state?
Thank you very much.
I hope MD, I'm speaking your mind.
MD,
did you listen?
I would also want to listen to him because
so that
the institution has been one institution I've been very. Your institution has been one institution I've been very interested for more than 10 years, because I remember in 2009 I had the opportunity of being at the World Information and Technology Service Alliance with UNAPS. And I know way back then, the consciousness of and all of that at the time, we're building at the time. And when she hears my project, she's always, she knows what it is. So, and that is why we feel the patience we've given to the research is because of where we want to go. And we don't want it disrupted by, you understand what that kind of a thing. And that's why we really want to put it on safe hands so that we can deliver and get the result we want. Because not only that, we are being matched and benchmarked by international community. That's why we have to go. So I may want to also hear from the FDs.
I had not finished before.
Oh, great. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I had not finished before.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, like I was saying, we need to know what it is so that when we are presenting the program to His Excellency, we'll be able to tell, of course, the benefits are immense. The benefits are immense because there are a lot of our youths, though we have other programs that are, in the state that are working on youth like Decagon and all that, but it's never too much because that space cannot take all the use we have.
Yes.
So from time to time, we need to know. So if, for instance, you have said in the local government, we have 18 local government, are we picking just one youth, or what are the targets we are looking at? Okay, what are the number of youth from each local government, and that will make up a state, and what are the things we need to do as a state to assist on that, so that we know. We want to know if there's any financial implications.
In fact, let me just do a very quick summary. First is that this project targets 1 million youths across the country in 10 years. So we are looking at 2,500 per state in a year, or as the state can go. But then the nomination must be good enough that we are certain that we are getting this nomination from a balanced local government consideration. And that's one. And that we should also consider gender consideration. Subsequent to this nomination is we will now do some psychological work on each and every one of them prior to incubation on determining their productivity potentiality, so that by the time we're able to know where they are best at, we'll know what best to put together for them and prepare them for. Whether, like I said, as the different categories of people that are coming from the diverse classes of youth, whether in school, graduated, in workforce, where can I optimize my prosperity, because technology is about trying to use it to better your life, not just to, I told people that
Exactly.
somebody coming to beg you for job tomorrow, man. Somebody begging or looking for job is not an attraction any longer. In fact, by the end of this year, you begin to see this reality. I need a job is no longer fashionable. Nobody is looking for jobs anymore. It should be, what can I create? What can I do with what I already know? Literacy is just to top it with innovation, and that's all. That's the essence of what this project is all about. So the state, if you look at 2,500 per state per year, and this you can now distribute across the 18 LGAs. Now, we're on the surface, on the global surface, this project will deliver, this project, you know, we should just leave it to just run as it is, because this project will deliver e-learning portals for each of the local governments in Edo State. And how are we going to do that? We're going to use the citizens, the indigents of the local government, to teach them what to do. They will develop their e-learning portal, and this e-learning portal will outlive governments to come, governments to go. So, and what are we putting on the content there? The content we are putting there is a database of a lot of innovation from different parts of the world that can challenge their mind, to show them what other people in other parts of the world have done and what is the benefit, what can they leverage on, what is ideal. And we have already over 1,000 lists of digital services for which they need to look at, and look at which is important in Edo, which is very important, which is less important, and which is least important. So this research is being sifted, like in some states right now, so that they are able to determine what is best for them and much more productive for the state, and of course, brings prosperity to them indirectly, directly. So students, workers can earn a living, and this is the better life we're talking about. You know, so I think I dream about this is just the
MD
target.
say something.
Yes.
Because I will assume the MD, please, so that we can end up in the
All right,
next.
thank you so much, sir. Madam, thank you so much. Like you said, your remarks is you have spoken my mind. The program is a laudable one, and I appreciate Dr. Amos, Prof.
Amos Emmanuel.
I love that.
In their class, we're calling me Prof when I had a prof teaching them from the Harrisburg University, and I told them I'm not the prof. That is their prof. A doctor. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much, and thank you for having interest in Edo State.
Yeah.
Just like Madam has rightly said, our governor is a digital governor, and he has very listening ear for anything that has to impact the life of a citizen, technology-wise. So bringing this on board, we will need, first of all, myself and Madam to be very clear on the roadmap and what value is bringing to the citizen, so that we can present it in a way that will make meaning to His Excellency.
Thank you so much.
So that's a very good one. And why I like the program is very indigenous in nature. Yes, going down to pick the brain, you know, not looking at Africa as a place that should be forgotten. We have talented brains.
We have them.
Brains.
We have them.
Yes,
we have them.
You know, and just like what you said, people are not looking for a job again. People get themselves developed. Yes,
not going to be attractive again.
And these guys outside the country in the developed world is actually using them and paying them peanuts.
Peanuts. That's what they do in Turin. There are so many offline of whatever jobs right now. That's what they do.
Yes.
But then I've also presented this project to the Honorable Minister. I know this week, today is Tuesday. Last week, I actually spoke with Dr. Femi Adelui, the PA to the Minister of Information Technology, and he was marveled. And he didn't even know this kind of project actually does exist, and that Nigeria can actually do this. But then my concern, why do I need the Federal Minister of Communication Technology? Like I've spoken to you, it was because I perhaps have a student or a beneficiary like Endurance, for instance. But then in some states, I don't know. And even my friends will be looking for what is the need for me when this project does not even have that for me, is beyond me. So we really want to put it in safe hands for them to really look what is doable. The best you can do is please, these students for almost 6 months that they'll be on the project, you need to care for their data. Just care for their data. Care for this, and perhaps the platform.
Yeah.
We need.
And we have right now we can ask them for a specific because what His Excellency is doing now, MD would say that better. And we know the farmers have been laid where we're going to have at the points, maybe in strategic places in the local government, you have free data they can access and all that.
You know, that is why I was speaking to the
farmers. Right now in the office,
Minister,
we have it is well connected. We are using the government data now in doing this program right now. So, but what we need from you, please, can you send that presentation so that myself and the MD will find time to sit down and fine tune, because I have a meeting starting in 20 minutes time.
Thank you.
I have to go to government house. So
thank
you very much, Mr. Amos. Amos Emmanuel. But you are in Nigeria.
I'm from Akwa Ibom State.
Which part of?
I'm from Akwa Ibom State. Akwa Ibom State.
Okay.
But guess what? I have spoken to Edo. Not earlier than my governor, Emmanuel Udom, who is even my own colleague in school. That's what I'm telling you. Your friends.
They have my own permanent secretary.
I don't know
Science
that.
and technology. We are very close. We met in this that day.
You can help me with that. I won't mind.
So Akwa Ibom, we are friends. And,
I say as governor, we are friends, but it's not easy to access them. And I'll just stay my day because I told you it's not a political show.
Yeah, exactly.
So thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
I appreciate this. Thank you. Nice. Thank you for the meeting.
Right. We'll be expecting your
I'll put that together to you, sir. So, madam, have a nice day. Thank you.
And you too. Bye.
Thank you.